This is the new line of Fender pedals. They're amazing. They're definitely aiming for a cool and high-end, high-quality pedals for discerning guitar buyers. Fender reached out to me a couple weeks ago and they just had really nice things to say about my channel and the videos I'm making, what I'm trying to do in the world. And they said, pick a couple pedals and just have them, no strings attached. It was wonderfully generous. It was really cool. I've had these for a couple weeks. They all have really cool tones. So I picked the Tre-Verb because to me, it feels like such a cool way to pack in some Fender-y goodness into a pedal that you could add at the end of your signal chain. So it would be reverb and tremolo at the end that would feel like it's coming from the amp. They sent along the distortion pedal as well, so I'm excited to try this. And my favorite, the one I was the most excited about, is the reflecting pool, which is a delay and reverb, which feels very, very cool, especially in my recent style of just lots of shoegazy, ambient, big stuff. And then the last one is the phaser, which I love phasers, I love flangers, I love modulation. So this is the first video in 4 videos featuring all of these pedals. These are all going to be just quick 3-question gear reviews. What's good about these things? What's bad about these things? And if I were you, would I buy these things? So let's dig into the Tre-Verb first. This is my 1985 Fender Japanese pink paisley telly Seymour Duncan Antiquities CTS pots. This is a 1947 Montgomery Ward made by Valco, and here's my clean tone. Let's check out some reverb. Let's try out the tremolo. Here it is. This is the Tre-Verb. I really dig it. There are some really cool sounds in here. I want to talk about my first impressions, and then I want to jump into the 3-question gear review. So my first impressions are it is amazingly well built, and they are definitely aiming for a discerning and thoughtful guitar player. Obviously it's beautiful. The lights are really helpful. You can turn them off and on. I think it's cool. Having the LEDs on the knobs, especially if you're playing in a dark situation, I can see that. But it also just aesthetically looks cool and feels cool. You can change the path as well on the back here. So if you want the reverb to go into the tremolo, or if you want the tremolo to go into the reverb. If you have this rhythmic tremolo and all of a sudden you then throw it into reverb and everything just kind of washes out, to me it makes more sense to go the reverb into the tremolo. The two buttons are very clear what they do. It's kind of broken up into 3 knobs on one side, 3 knobs and a switch on the other. Actually 3 knobs and a switch on one side, 3 knobs and a switch on the other. With the rate and the depth for the tremolo, it's very easy to dial in the 2 parameters that you would really want. The opto, the bias, and the HM. The opto feels very abrupt, very stuttery, pop, 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 compared to a little more legato, smooth with the bias tremolo. And then the harmonic, the HM, is very cool because it gives you almost this chorusy, modulated warble to your tone. It's a very cool sound, it's very usable, and it's very melodic. It doesn't distract, where sometimes to me chorus pedals can feel distracting. Then you move into the reverb. The reverb is very cool, very usable. The big thing that I find with this is that it doesn't sound like a Fender reverb necessarily. You can get it to be like splashy and springy sounding, but overall you can get this to do many things that are not necessarily Fender, but they feel much more into my style. These pedals are a little complicated to get to work the way that you would want them. So for me, all of the reverbs on this at first felt very tight. It felt like the pre-delay, even though there's not a control for pre-delay, felt like the pre-delay was very short. And so in every situation I had it, it just felt like I would play and it would bum. It's very tight, and then it would reverb off of that instead of giving you this longer delay or this longer reverb, because what I really want out of a lot of these pedals is I want my delay to make my amp sound like my amp is 100 yards away in a cathedral. I want to like feel it and hear it and have it wash around rather than being so direct. For me, the 65 setting is the most helpful. There's a 63, a 65, and then a plate. The plate has a lot of cool high frequency things that are happening. All in, this is a really cool pedal. So now into the plate mode. So the 3-question gear review. What's good about it? A lot of things are really, really good about this pedal. The aesthetic and the build quality are really cool and really well known. It's heavy. It feels really well built. It's easy to see what's happening, especially in the dark with the lights. There are tons of features that you can turn on and off as you need them. For example, you can turn off the LEDs if you want. It's intuitive to jump in, but then there is a depth of understanding to get it to do all that it can do, or the best tones that are stored in it. It is a true stereo in and out. You can run 2 in, you can run a left and a right in and a left and a right out. This could be used very easily in either a wet dry rig or a true stereo rig. It's a fairly small size. I mean, we're now kind of with the Strymons of the world and like the JHS Space Commander. These are about the same size as those. The size is a little big, but it is manageable. So let's get into some of the bad things, or some of the things that are worth talking about. It's kind of a big pedal, like I just said. It's about twice this, it's 1.5 widths probably of a regular Boss size pedal. But I think most people could make space for this if they needed to. The other thing that is complicated is that this has a 310 milliamp draw. So if you're using a daisy chain, you're gonna get some weird frequencies, you're gonna get some noise. So unless you have a power supply, it just makes this a little more complicated to use. All of the Fender pedals that I've tried so far, I think this has the highest 310 milliamps, the others are 290 or 270, but they're all really strong draws. So you're just gonna need to plan out when you're putting your pedal board together, how you're going to power this separate and isolated from your other pedals in the chain. The other downside is it is a little heavy. If you have a big soundboard, every ounce counts. And so if you're using this, you're going to have to really like it. With that said, it is a really badass pedal. So the third question is, should you buy it? To me, the Tre-Verb is a total winner. This is an amazing pedal. A lot of people have compared this to the Strymon Flint. I don't see the comparison. They're both tremolo and reverb combo pedals. The Flint is an amazing pedal. I've owned one. I think that it's probably my favorite pedal I've owned in the last 5 years. It might be my favorite pedal I've ever owned, but it is a different animal than this, and this has a really cool and unique place. This feels like a fully thought through badass update of Fender tones and then push them into a whole new digital space. Taking a spring reverb but drawing the dwell out so long that it feels big and drippy and giant. Overall, good, bad, and should you buy it? I think you definitely should buy this. It is a really solid pedal. If I was in the market for a delay and a reverb, I would definitely check out one of these. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I don't take it lightly that you take time out of your life to watch these videos. I hope they help you find cool gear that lights your soul on fire. If you want to support this channel, make sure to subscribe down below, hit the bell so that you know when new videos come up. And lastly, go to Patreon and become a patron if you really want to help this channel grow. I'm Jeremy, the Guitar Hunter. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys soon.